Fortnite is one of the largest video games in the world right now, generating a total peak of 14,343,880 players worldwide. The game is undoubtedly revolutionary as it popularised not only the free-to-play genre but the battle royale genre as a whole. The craze was everywhere, with many games trying to directly rival Epic Games by either embedding their own battle royale modes or straight up creating new games that are based around the battle royale idea, as well as the rise of games going free to play in general, as it guarantees you more players and potentially more money through microtransactions, which is another trend that Epic started. However, in recent years, Fortnite has been the talk of the town for less than stellar reasons. A lawsuit between Epic Games and the FTC has ended recently, which resulted in over 624,000 players being given millions of dollars in compensation, because the company unlawfully charged players for unwanted purchases, let children rack up unauthorized charges without their parents' permission, and blocked some users who disputed wrongfully charges from accessing their purchased content. This lawsuit and recent controversies involving collaborations and new game modes has left me and other players wondering the same question. Does Fortnite manipulate its audience? The Fortnite multiverse refers to the game's Chapter 5 update. This update was a huge milestone in the game's history, as it introduced 3 alternative game modes to the base game. These game modes were LEGO Fortnite, Rocket Racing, and Fortnite Festival. All modes were completely free to play and offer a diverse way to play and allow players a break from the normal BR option, as well as introducing new rewards and progression to give players more things to do. This multiverse has expanded and evolved over the years, with recent new game modes being Battle Royale OG and Ballistics. This was a super unique feature completely unheard of before, and on paper it sounds like a brilliant idea to shake up the formula and add new longevity into the game. So why did it fail so much at first? Our first example can be LEGO Fortnite, the survival game mode using LEGO's IP to give it a blocky and graphic and playful aesthetic, very similar to previous survival game Minecraft, which released 14 years prior. The LEGO mode launched with an all-time peak of over 2 million players. In only a month, this would drop to 81,482, which is a 96% player drop-off in just 1 month. Furthermore, Rocket Racing only lasted 9 months before having its support completely cut. The mode is still playable in 2025, but they haven't updated it since the prior year. It's obvious at first the multiverse didn't kick off right away, due to these modes lacking the gameplay and overall fun to keep players from jumping off within months. Many complained that the gameplay of LEGO and Rocket Racing were stale and did not offer anything new to the table, making them less likely to pick LEGO over Minecraft, for example. But something that all these modes got right, for better or for worse, was its microtransactions. Every multiverse mode, excluding Ballistics, has their own battle passes. Just for context, battle passes are a form of microtransaction where players pay a fee to access a list of premium rewards that they have to be unlocked by playing the game. In order to purchase all the game's battle passes and maximize the amount of content you can earn from a season, you'd need to spend 4,800 V-Bucks, which translates to more than £30. However, don't worry, because if you have a valid Fortnite Crew subscription, you'll automatically get these battle passes as part of your subscription for just $11.99 a month. But then again, that begs the question, why do I need a subscription for a free game? Not to mention how you need to act quick on these rewards, as they are only in the game for a select amount of time, and once they're gone, there is no way of getting them back, even if you have a battle pass purchased or the crew subscription in that moment. The moment a season finishes, the content you missed out on disappears forever. It isn't a coincidence that these modes have lacking gameplay and dwindling player numbers, but a whole ecosystem of microtransactions to bleed as much money as possible from their small audiences. Not to mention Festival having a new celebrity collab every season to grab the attention of fans of a particular artist. I almost feel like making genuinely fun modes for the multiverse was an afterthought, with Epic prioritizing making sure each mode has as much premium content as possible to increase player spending habits by manipulating players into maybe getting a battle pass or two. Why wouldn't you buy a subscription to your favourite game if it meant unlocking digital goodies that you're not even guaranteed of getting if you didn't spend enough time on the game season? Players are left feeling stuck and obligated to play the game because they could miss out on rewards for just having the day off. A clear-cut exploitation of people's fear of missing out. Linking back to the FTC lawsuit, it's obvious I'm not alone in my opinions about the current state of Fortnite. The Federal Trade Commission is a governing body in the United States of America, specializing in protecting the US population from fraud, scams, and other shady practices in the business environment. Their lawsuit against Epic claims they use manipulative tactics to force players into unwanted spending and locking content away from players upon refund requests. This is actually an issue that's been plaguing Fortnite for a while. Originally, when the game first came out, it was impossible to refund items. Every purchase with valid V-Bucks was final, whether it was a misclick or not. I, for one, actually fell for this myself. A few years ago, I was viewing a bundle in the item shop and accidentally purchased it. Without warning or confirmation, the V-Bucks left my account with no options for refunds. Most things usually ask either, "Are you sure?" before making a purchase, or they make it so that you have to do extra steps before purchasing, like taking you to an order confirmation page as an example. But not Fortnite. One button press and your currency is gone. In 2018, Epic added the refund tickets to the game. This was a system where every year all players would be given free tickets where they can refund any valid purchases for V-Bucks. Although the idea is certainly there, the execution is definitely unpractical. What happens if you spend all your refund tickets and accidentally purchase a fourth item? Is it just a case of wait till next year to earn more refunds? And better yet, what if a parent had their child go out of their way to trade currency for V-Bucks? Yes, the refund ticket would return the item and grant you the spent V-Bucks back, but you'd still lose the actually cold-hearted cash that left your account with no way to have it refunded. Epic being so tight on direct refunds really begs the question, like, maybe these design flaws in purchasing items was intentional, as kids are more susceptible than adults to making accidental purchasing. Almost hoping that a child decides to steal their parent's card to make an unwanted purchase, as they can and will refuse to give the money back. In addition to this, I read an article called "Getting Under Your Skin," where they raised interesting evidence about Epic's approach to content and what they expect players to do. A particular point of highlight is how games like Fortnite use different reward schemes layered on top of each other to create maximally engaging experiences. You want to provide players with timed as well as fixed rewards for which they can accurately anticipate when they receive them. Such rewards serve as reliable guideposts in the future, giving a player a reason to play for additional X hours. UX researcher Ben Lewis Evans admits that the timed exclusive content in the game, like weekly challenges and battle passes, are there to encourage players to spend excessive extra hours on the game, to guarantee they don't miss a thing, and to encourage those to predict when a certain content is starting and ending, to manipulate them into embedding Fortnite into their day-to-day routine. There isn't a moment where you shouldn't be thinking about what you're going to miss out on if you just take a day off for a different video game. Something else mentioned by Epic's former head of UX research, Celia Hodent, explains that the process of buying and opening bundles of items in the shop is designed to match the cute and fun game feel of Fortnite to make it fun to buy items. Fortnite's onboarding process teaches new players that your avatar and its home base to express your personal progress and identity. Everything I've just listed about Epic Games making purchases easy and fun for its players actually involved them in another FTC lawsuit from March of 2022. The lawsuit was worth $245 million and claimed everything I've already mentioned, like its poorly designed refund systems and how purchasing items is way too easy, especially for susceptible children, making claims against Epic Games such as Epic failed to adequately explain its billing practices to customers and designed its interface in ways that led to unauthorized charges, meaning that Epic set up its payment system so that it saved by default the credit card that was associated with the account. That meant that kids could buy V-Bucks, the virtual currency necessary to making in-game purchases, with the simple press of a button. No separate cardholder consent was required. This lawsuit is clear-cut evidence that all of the criticisms and allegations I made about Epic intentionally designing its UI and refund systems poorly to intentionally suck money from its users is very much real. But don't just take it from me, take it from the parents that made their voices known in the article. Hello Epic Games. The The charges associated with this account were made without my authorization. This account is associated with my 10-year-old son's account, and I am really disappointed that there is no check and balances that alerted me of these charges. And a 10-year-old can purchase coins worth almost $500 so easily. Epic Games is swindling parents with its unauthorized game purchases, tricking young consumers and shady practices for billing. I authorized a one-time Epic Games purchase for my 11-year-old son, only to discover EG did not erase my credit card info, and thus my son has been making unauthorized purchases, racking up $140 in less than 8 days after the initial purchase. What we can gauge from this is that this UX team's sole purpose is to figure out new methods to exploit players into spending every chance they get on the game, and to spend as much money as possible by making the purchasing process fun, and to teach players that essentially you need premiums to show off that you're a good player. This point is actually raised in another article called Power in Skin, where they conducted essays and studies to understand the psychology behind player spending and why exactly they buy skins in Fortnite, where a user raised an interesting point of, they are legacy skins. If you have one, it means you've been playing the game for a long time. Other players would see you as a good player, so they would decide whether to attack you or back off. Players are anticipating your skills based off of what premiums you have and coming to theoretical conclusions to what your progression in the game is, depending on what avatar you have equipped. This way of thinking is very much real, as I for one have judged hundreds of players based off of their skins. An example I can give you is when football themed skins were added to the game, and it just seemed like everyone who had them were 10 times better than you at the game. These skins costed around £10. To summarise this chapter, the game is deliberately designed against you to spend more and more money as you play. Purchasing is made to seem fun and rewarding to players. Premium content comes with a timer, manipulating players' FOMO to panic purchase items that they want now but may never see again. And finally, they want players to buy skins in order to develop their progression and feel valued, as those with less luxurious skins are targeted and seen as less advanced than those with more expensive content. Fortnite is quite famous for its collaborative content. Almost anyone you can think of is in the game, whether fictional or very much a living celebrity. Recently we have seen film characters like Baymax from Big Hero 6, Godzilla, King Kong and Mechagodzilla from the MonsterVerse franchise, and finally, but certainly not least, is Japanese music artist Hatsune Miku. Again, these are only recent examples. There has been hundreds of collaborations in the past, with them even taking up entire themes of seasons, like how both Chapter 2 Season 4 and Chapter 5 Season 4 were both based on the Marvel IP. Some argue that the sheer amount of collaborative content is overwhelming and destroys the game's identity, as it's now a mix mash of celebrities, social influencers, other game characters and film characters, all in a connected world where they can compete in whatever game mode you put them in, not only harming Fortnite's identity but ruining the legacy of the original IPs. Collaborations like this have caused upset and backlash, like how Chapter 2 Remix, which was a season dedicated to paying homage to the game's Chapter 2 update, which is now 6 years old, was absolutely crammed with artists ranging from Snoop Dogg to Juice WRLD. The announcement was met with harsh criticism, with many dubbing it as the worst event in Fortnite's history. Epic clearly has no self-respect, as it's so hell-bent on adding everyone and everything to the game at the cost of players' trust and respect. Who cares if people think Chapter 2 Remix sucked when we are able to sell Eminem for £20? Not to mention, this collab actually marks Eminem's third return into the item shop. If you are a die-hard Eminem fan and wanted to buy all his skins, you'd be spending more than £30. The worst part of it all is that all these overwhelming crossovers are intentional, as Epic knows people will buy.
So if we take a look at the avatar skins again, to get a skin, it costs 2,000 V-Bucks just to get one character who doesn't even have any edit styles. Now what they did to be sneaky was that they included the pickaxe and other stuff with these skins and called it a pack. But the issue is that you can't even get these skins separately. They're making you pay for the whole thing with the pickaxe and everything. They only consider it a bundle when you get 2 of the packs, which still leaves the third skin out where you still need to buy that separately.
Scrolling through the item shop today, it is about 90% collaborations, with characters either being full collaborations or Fortnite characters meant to look like or imitate other IPs. Original skins are far and few between and sometimes look really bad to discourage players from buying them over collaborative projects, allowing them to bump up the prices for these particular premiums and manipulate users into spending more money for decent looking content. Fortnite is a corporate shell of what it used to be. What was once a genuinely fun and engaging game has turned into a product of manipulation and scams, with the FTC lawsuits really pushing this idea forward. And unfortunately, I feel as time goes on, these dark tactics are only going to change and evolve as Epic Games gets more richer.